Hey, how y'all doing? It's me again, just being me. So today I want to talk about some things that I've observed. One of my observations recently is about how a country spends its money and how that shows that country's priorities and values. So, first, let's go into immigration. Immigrants have long been a strength of our nation here in the United States. People come to the United States of America looking for a better life. That's just a fact. Contrary to what some people believe, there are legal and illegal ways to enter this country, and folks are availing themselves of both. I believe that if our congressional leaders stop all this petty political bickering and get serious about the business of serving us in the capacity that we sent them there for, we'd be in a better position today to deal with the problems we're currently facing on the southern border. Fix the immigration process. It's a congressional duty to do so. If you set laws, then every president that walks into the door of the White House can't just change a presidential memo and make things work the way they want it. They'll have to abide by the laws that you set or get you to change them. This is how it works in America. By doing so, by resolving this issue, this will solve some of the big problems we have that's dividing this country right now, the society. All the people who have contributed to making this country successful, including the descendants of African slaves right here in the United States, have been afforded the least dignity. People from Central and South America suffer this same discrimination, and recently, I've seen the same for Asian people here. That hasn't always been the case, but it is now. And that's just since the pandemic and all the accusations that were thrown out about that. And people are just overreacting to it. If you wonder why I use the specific word people in place of race or ethnicity, it is because I have realized that a race is a man-made construct developed to make some people feel superior, while at the same time attempting to make others feel inferior. There's a whole system built to enforce this in our country. It's subtle, yet it's powerful. There are facts that we should all adhere to in this. In this world, in some cases, they're hidden deep. These facts are buried, and you have to search for them to find them. They aren't made easily accessible. There are all kinds of distractions thrown out there to take you off the path of finding the truth. Now, it's a fact that brown-skinned people have been looked upon in this country as less than human, considered bad, evil, and less intelligent when compared to people with less melanin or with lighter skin, which causes them to appear to have a higher complexion, which is true. Now, we all know that this isn't true, the intelligence factor. Intelligence is a byproduct of knowledge attained, knowledge attained, and wisdom gained. So with that in mind, let's look at racism. What is it really? The definition of racism is prejudice, is discrimination or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people based on their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. Now there we go with that word again, race, racial. I still believe what I said to you earlier. Race is a man-made construct. Because if you believe like I believe, if the story of Noah is correct, and that all the other peoples of the world were destroyed, and the only ones left after the flood was Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, his sons, and their wives. They repopulated the world. So if that's true, it doesn't matter the difference that you and I see when we look at each other. Skin color, hair texture, a number of other things. What matters is that ultimately we're all from the same family. We have to learn to get along like we're all in the same. If you want to say race, let's call the race human beings. That's the race I'm in. When I was younger, I did run a little bit, and I did invoke myself, or let's just say I ran a few races. Won, I lost. But that to me is what race is. I'm moving into this race theory. It sounds a lot to me like hate. So when you base things on race, other than descriptiveness, then all the negativity surrounding it, it's just hate. It's just plain old hate. In fact, why don't we just call it what it is? Let's not forget the slavery in the United States ended a short time ago. People think that it was recent, but it wasn't. My grandfather was born to people who were slaves. And that's not very far. That's only 2 generations away. So, I beg to differ with anybody that says, oh, that happened a long time ago. Now, I will agree that I don't think I should hold anyone living today responsible for what happened before. But I think we should all get on the same page as people and start living together as human beings on this earth. Let's think about that. Let's try to do that. Do you realize that it was only 59 years ago that the Voting Rights Act was enacted? And that in itself had to be done because the 15th Amendment from 1870 was not enough to compel all states to allow former enslaved people the right to vote. There were still these little tests that you had to get through. And they would throw stuff at you that they knew you wouldn't know. And so that's how they kept people from voting. And you don't have to listen to me. Do your research. You can Google it. You can look it up. And there are movies that are made about it. And they're all based on fact. So we're talking facts. We're talking truth here. And we're talking human being to human being. Now follow me in this thought process. If you believe in the story of Noah, as I said before, it's a biblical tale. But it's also a historical tale. Because history and the Bible are hand in hand. Because the Bible is just stories that were written throughout history. This means we're all the same people. Some of us look different. And we contribute that to adaptation. Centuries of living in an environment, our bodies will adapt to that, and things will change. Skin color, hair texture, how much hair a person grows on their bodies, a lot of different things. And that is also scientifically a fact. So why don't we just drop the hate and live like human beings? Because that's what we are, all of us. Love you. Thank you for coming and checking out my channel. Before you leave, if you haven't already, could you either like or dislike, one or the other, and subscribe. And there may be a notification bell there. If you do that, then you'll get notified anytime I upload a new video. Thanks for coming. See you later.